deal.
There's a good thing that goes along hand in hand with this, Brett. You want to talk about the spook? How to ride through a spook?
Yeah. Yeah, while we're doing that, I was just about to speed everybody up and go to a trot, but before I do that, I'll bring that up. So the spookiness, they look where we look. We're proving it right here. And so I've got myself trained to see spooks from way far away. And I see them and I ignore them and I don't look at them.
Say it again.
I've got myself trained to see what's spooky.
Okay.
I've just been around, I've ridden so many young horses for so long. From way off, I can tell you what's going to spook a young horse. You know, so if I'm riding, just hacking around out here, I can see what's going to spook that horse and what's not going to spook that horse. And you know, I'll see it out of the corner of my eye at a glance. I just won't look over there. But if I see it and I look at it, they're going to see it and they're going to look at it and spook at it. And so not everybody's quite as trained to that as I am. But then if you find yourself in a position where your horse is spooking at something, don't look at it. Don't look at it, and then they won't look at it.
Look where you want to go, not where they're worried about, right?
Right. And so let's take the situation where you're all standing around on your horse and the breeze is blowing and here comes the trash bag or the Walmart bag. Well, of course, everybody looks at it. That's how our eyes work. It picks up movement and you look at it. So you look at it blowing across there, your horses all look at it blowing across there, and then everybody's horse spooks. When I see that out of the corner of my eye, I look away. Everybody else's horse spooks and mine doesn't.
Talking about the back of mailboxes you had to ride by. And how you knew the horse was going to spook and you just kept riding them by.
Exactly.
They didn't look.
Right.
That helped me more than you can imagine.
Right.
Just watching that video just completely changed my mindset.
Perfect.
So if you know X, Y, obviously you're looking away at spooks here.
Yeah.
You're looking away. Are you also taking that eye away from that horse?
Oh, probably unconsciously. If I do, it's not a conscious thing, but it's with the mailbox thing like you were talking about. For anybody that's not familiar with what she's talking about, we spent a lot of winters in Florida. On the third ride, I'd take those colts on a little trail ride, and Amy would lead me out on a pony horse, on a broke horse, and we'd have to go out of the barn and then kind of down a little deal, and there was a T in the road, and we always turned right, and there was a whole bank of mailboxes right there right before we turned, and every colt in the world was scared of that set of mailboxes. And so what I got to doing was I would look down the road. I would look where I wanted to go and not at the mailboxes. If I looked at those mailboxes, they'd spook at it. If I looked where I wanted to go, they'd avoid those mailboxes. You know, they'd see them and they didn't like them, but they'd avoid those mailboxes and just go where I was going. And in that spookiness, that was fine with me. I didn't care that they kind of walked around there, especially because it was the third ride. But I didn't care about any of that, because when a horse spooks, I don't care that they're scared of something. All I care about is that they ignore me. So you can be scared of whatever you want, even if it's a legitimate thing to be scared of. That's fine, horse. You're allowed to be scared. What I'm not going to allow is that you take matters into your own hands. You don't trust me to take care of things. You ignore my signals. And so when I'm dealing with something that's spooky, you know, we have a mailbox. I don't know. I have a big problem with mailboxes, evidently. But we have a mailbox, and that colt or that horse, mature horse, whatever, is worried about that. I'll trot around that mailbox a whole bunch of times, and it's not because of the mailbox. It's because you're ignoring me, and you're focused on the mailbox instead of what I'm doing. I won't look at the mailbox. I'll look where I want to go. I want to go 10-meter circle around here, and I want to ride you here, and I do not care that you're scared of this or scared of that or scared of anything else. All I care about is that you're ignoring me. And so I'll keep doing it until they start to respond to my hand and my whatever my aids are, when they start responding to my aids, then I go away. And then I don't worry about the spook. I don't worry about them going up and putting their nose on it or anything like that. And that makes it go away. And then the next time, they're not scared of that mailbox, because I never made a big deal out of that. All I made a big deal out of was that they didn't respond to me. If I made a big deal out of that mailbox and made them go up there and I kicked on them and whipped on them and get up there and put your nose right on it, and then there's that idea that they put their nose on it, they stand there and breathe, and then they're over it. No, they're going to be scared of that thing forever. Even if they don't react to it, there's still reactions in their brains that we don't notice is going on, and that there's always some nervousness about that mailbox. If we just ignore it and just, hey, I don't care about that, I just care that you're not staying between the reins here, we get them between the reins and then we go on, you're good. If you make them go put their nose on it, you're proving to them that they were right, that thing does cause anxiety. You did all this work, and even if you didn't have to get violent and spur on them and whip on them, whatever, if you make a deal out of it, then you just prove that, yes, that anxiety was founded. We did have to go do a bunch of anxious work and do a bunch of stuff and then go touch their nose. Going over there and touch their nose on it doesn't make it okay. It just means they relented.
Brett, you can't deal with turkey buzzards, though.
Can't deal with turkey buzzards? Well,
that's my nemesis.
Turkey buzzards are weird.
They scare me too, really.
What are you doing on the trail when, say, like a fallen tree limb or a small creek bed or somewhere, not really an option, you don't want to get off the horse?
And they don't want to cross it?
Yeah.
Same kind of a deal. I've seen a lot of people. I watched a good friend of mine, and he's a good horseman. This was years ago, so I won't blame him for it because we were both a lot younger. But we got to a place and there was a little creek to cross, and his horse didn't want to cross it. Well, it came into a whipping and spurring match, and his horse finally, it was this wide, and his horse finally jumped across it and then looked around like, are we in Mexico now? But he made a big deal out of it. It didn't make it any better. The next time we came to another little spot like that, we had to do the same thing and the same thing and the same thing. It didn't make it any better. If I get to a spot like that and they don't want to cross that creek, I don't care. You don't want to cross that creek? We're going to trot a bunch of circles here. And it's kind of the same idea. I don't care that you don't want to cross the creek. What I care is that we get up there and you refuse me. You know, I asked you to go and you refused me. That's all I care about. And so we'll go right here, right in front of it, and I'm going to ask you to go, ask you to go, ask you to go, ask you to go. And this is what I care about. When I say go, go. When I say go, go. Then I'll offer them the creek again. Nope. Okay, fine. When I say go, go. When I say go, go. And then I come up here and I say go, and they say, yep, okay, go. And with a situation like that, maybe it's because they don't want to be over here trotting circles in, and I make it hard on them, as hard as I can make it, you know, whatever their physical capabilities are. Whether it's trotting circles, loping circles, whether it's really bridled up and really intense, or it's a 5-6 ride colt, so it's just kind of operating around. I make it as hard over here as I can. So it could be either way, and I'm not in their brain, so I don't want to be over here because he makes me work, so I'll just cross the creek so I can get away from that. Maybe, but the way I think about it is, I don't care that you won't cross that limb or that creek. What I care is that you refuse me. When I say go, don't ask me how fast. When I say go, go.
What would you do? We ride a lot of mountain trails, like 2 tracks. There was not a whole lot in the trot circles. Would you back them up? Is that kind of better?
Say that again.
Like we're on 2 tracks a lot, mountains, where there's not really room for a circle. Would you back them up, or is that counterproductive, or back them up till they soften and take them again?
I guess, yeah, if you get in a spot, and trotting circles was the first thing that came to mind. Whatever I can do to make it work. Yeah, you get into spots that things don't work. I try to just, what is this horse refusing? This horse, and in this situation, this horse is refusing to go. So I make go be the thing. There are some situations, and I do this a bunch. There's a young horse there's a hose there, or doesn't want to cross it or whatever. Well, you can turn them around. For some reason, you can back them over it. And so to avoid drama in situations like that, when I'm on a 2-track and I can't do something, I have real good luck with, I've backed them through creeks a million times. Just back them through stuff. There's situations where you just got to do whatever you can do to get it done. But what you need to do there is then catalog that in your mind and go, this is something we need to work on. He refused me over this. And so then when you go home, you can put some cavaletti out and say, you want to refuse about going, let's set up a situation where I can teach you. If you're in a situation where you can't teach something, have another horse walk in front of them, get off and lead them, do whatever you need to do, but then catalog that in your mind and go home and fix it.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, like, in certain situations where you come up on something and you know your horse isn't ready for it or want to refuse it, like I found, like starting a bunch of babies, if I want them to have a good first ride, I'm going to follow a good growth horse.
Right.
I want to get upset about anything.
Right.
And not make anything a big deal. And usually if that growth horse goes, they'll most of the time just go.
Yeah. We do that a bunch. I'll be riding a baby and either Amy or one of the kids is on a broke horse. It's something I've noticed is actually pretty funny to me. Since the kids don't know all the situations that can happen, and they never look back to see.
They don't have that fear factor.
When they're on that broke horse, all they know is Dad told me to trot down the road on this broke horse and he's going to follow me. They never even look back. They never think of me. They never even care. Casey Carson did the same thing with me, and I cussed him about it for a while until I figured out that actually works better. It works better with the kids because they don't look back. They don't think about me. They don't avoid little deals. Amy's done that for me for years on thousands of colts. So now she sees the little things too, and so does her damn horse. And sees things and kind of avoids them and looks back at me and this and that. And I find actually those young horses they'll kind of booger a little bit more because what are we looking at? Those kids get on a broke horse and they don't care. They don't think about anything. The oldest one, all he thinks about is Legos. And so he just trotting down the road thinking about Legos. He's not thinking about anything. His horse is broke enough that he's just thinking whatever his thoughts are, and that colt his kind of old ears go like this. And just, well, I guess everything's cool. I guess we're fine. Yeah, the more laid back with those youngsters, the more laid back you can make it, the better. But when they're older, it's the same way. If you can see a situation up ahead of you that's a potential wreck, you can't practice for a wreck.
Right.
So if you can see a situation up ahead of you, if you can just kind of cool hand Luke it, your horse will believe you.
Oh yeah, well that's like with my girlfriend's horse, he sees something he's not sure about, he'll refuse by spinning, and it's not violently or trying to pick her off, he's just saying, hey, that's too much right now, so where he likes to lead, and when he gets into a problem, then I just casually go around him, because she'll walk through fire, she don't care.
Right.
And then he's like, oh, it's okay.
He'll watch, yeah.
But if I let her she's like, no, I want to do it. And it's like, okay, get in a fight with an apple loose.
Right, right. Yeah.
Ain't gonna go so well.
That's why the Indians rode them to war, so they were good and mad by the time they got there. Yeah.
So if my horse refuses to do something, am I taking her off of that thing and working her? Like
refusing to jump, like we were talking about this morning?
More like if she's refusing to go down a certain area.
Okay.
Am I gonna circle back and solidify go and then try it again?
I'm gonna do it right there where she refuses me. So if I draw a line in the sand right here, and he refuses to cross that, Right there's where the work is.
Okay.
This is where I'm saying we're all about go. And then I offer it to him again. You want to go? Nope. Okay, we're all about go. You want to go? No, we're all about go. And then, like you said, if we're in a narrow 2-track road, we don't have the opportunity to do that. You know, pick your battles. You got to pick your battles, because there's times, and the same with you with your mare. You know, if she doesn't want to go down there, well, if you're in a spot where there's a gooseneck trailer right here that's going to take your head off and a lawnmower over here, pick your battles. Get through it however you can, whether you got to get off and lead her or whatever. But know that, okay, this is something I need to work on.
So is it messed up? If she does sometimes refuse jumps, is it bad if I make her jump it at a standstill? Like any means necessary type of deal?
Not to me.
Okay.
You know, so her question was, a horse refusing to jump, is it bad to make her take the jump from a standstill?
That's what I do.
Yeah, well, so I'm not a jump horse trainer, so maybe there's something in there that I don't know about. But from my perspective, if you can ride her over it, no, I don't think there is any problem with it. Is you refuse this jump, we're going to jump this. This is what we came to do.
I feel like it builds confidence because it's harder, and then when they can do it from a standstill.
I would think, yeah. I would think it would.
Brett, bicycles.
Okay.
There's a state park that I just started to ride at, and rule of thumb is you're supposed to get off your bicycle and walk them past the horses.
Sure.
People go out and ride. So it's horses, people, bicycles.
Uh-huh.
And like the first time I had her out there, people stopped and did that. The kid came whizzing by and she was like, and then did. So would you just have somebody ride bicycles around, since that's something that
Yeah, and so that's back to the, you can't practice for a wreck.
right?
And so I think anybody that's done this for very long has tried stuff like that. Oh, we have a problem for, and I think that's something that all the time I get horses into training, and they say, well, we like to trail ride, and we go past the highway on the way to the trail, and so can you get this horse around cars a bunch so they won't be, and you're like, well, it doesn't really work that way. So I would bet you I could go get a bicycle right now. I would bet you there's bicycles right over there. I would bet you I could go get a bicycle and ride a circle around her and she wouldn't care, because it's not the bicycle, it's the setting, right?
Something coming at her.
It's something coming at her. She's in a place where she's not super confident in any way because it's new, et cetera, et cetera. And so it's not so much the bicycle. And truth is, what we find is more often than not, it's us. So we get into the predator-prey thing, and this can be a way deeper conversation, so I'm not going to get into that so much. I don't really believe a horse is a prey animal, but they're not really a predator. And we are. We're predators. And so I see something long before they do. Just because the way my eyes work, I'll see something long before they do. I see that bicycle coming, zooming down the trail before my horse does. And I go, oh no! And I tense up and everything. I told her to be scared.
Bicycles, best thing you can do is turn right in front of you. Holler out, hey, how's it going today? Slow down a little bit. Get the guy on the bike to talk to you. The horses go, oh, it's
Yeah, this
yeah.
happens so quick. I mean, I normally, like, she'll see people walking, I'll yell, hi, how are you?
And that goes into exactly what I was trying to say, is that when I see it, that spooky thing coming, that bicycle, when I see it before my horse, if I make a good deal out of it, hey, what's up, bicycle guy?
So much to the Patreon crew. You guys are the reason we're able to do this and do the extra things and really do all the YouTube videos too. We wouldn't be able to make it work without you guys. So thank you so much. And any of the rest of you can jump on and watch any of these extra kind of things that we do on Patreon and see what's going on there. So check that out if you can.